All right, so I am out at the woods today by myself and working on the shed here. So I'll show you what we've been working on, or what I've been working on, I guess. So started last weekend. We brought the family out and started insulating, and I'm just using an unfaced R19 for the ceiling here, and then I'm putting a plastic. It's a 6 mil. So I'm going to try this. I've never done it this way. I've usually always used like the craft face with the paper. So I'm going to try this time and see how this works for this shed. So today I had a roll left, which gets me about 4 spots, and I had one that didn't have any plastic on, so I had to cut a little bit. The plastic is hard to work with or without anyone, especially if you're just working with the family and they don't exactly understand what you're going for. So there's a lot of wrinkles in there, and I don't know if I'm gonna try to get that any tighter. This last section I did by myself, and it seems a little bit nicer. And then the other thing I did, since I had a piece of that styrofoam where this was in here, I fit a piece up in here just to get started to see how that was going to work, and I used that hot knife. And this hot knife is okay, but it melts quite a bit. Like, that styrofoam melts back quite a bit, so when you're measuring you almost have to go a little bit more and just figure you're going to lose like an 1/8 inch to the material melting back on itself. So that's what I did with that. And then I'm thinking, these are just set up here, this is kind of my thought, is to run 2x4s up this way, and then that's just a piece of the R19, which looks like it'll be more than enough because we got some space behind there, and then I could cover that with plastic. I'd like to get at least one area here with a wall finish, at least some of the ceiling and then the wall, so I can just pull in some temp electric, so I'm not always running extension cords. It'd be nice to have some outlets on the wall and some lights on the ceiling as well. So the other thing I was going to do today is I was going to measure out, I don't know if I'm going to go, if I'm going to go 4 feet or 4 feet and a quarter out, drive a nail in, and then do that on the other end, and it just takes some measurements to see how far off we're going to be. I don't think it's going to be very square. I think we're going to have some significant concerns, but we won't know until we do that. So I'll have to run back, grab a string line, and then see how that works. But otherwise, this is ready. I could get one or maybe 2 pieces of 4x8 Blandex on the ceiling and just do that, but that's going to be pretty difficult again too without any type of lift, but we'll see. But I'm thinking this idea should work through, so I'm just thinking putting the 2x4s like a wall across. I believe I gotta have one on this post because this post is turned. So if you'll see, the 2x6s are like this, so I need another 1.5 inches for it to come out with this wall, because the 2x6s are running this way instead. So when I took a measurement here, we were 1.5 inches shy on this post. So if I put that 2x4 right in the corner, which I didn't want to do for now, I just wanted to see how this would lay out, that should come out correctly. So it would be nice to have this thing insulated before it gets cold. This morning it was pretty crisp. There's a good layer of frost on everything, so I don't have the heater out here yet either. I figured it was just a little too soon for that. I think the next time I come out, depending on what the forecast is, I'm gonna fuel the thing up and get it out here so I can keep working on this. So in like this middle section, I got a bunch of lights and stuff that I strung up for lighting. That's why I said it really would be nice if I could get some of this finished, so I could at least put up some lights and then get it wired into a panel in the corner or whatever, and then I can take all this temporary stuff down. So, and then one more roll of insulation will get me to this one right here. So I should be good with that as well. All right, so I'm just wrapping up here. I'll show you the progress. So that's where I finished with the ceiling. I did get a string line up, and it's actually not too bad. It's gonna be pretty close. So I measured out 4¼ inches. It's hard to see. And there's some spots, I think on these posts here where it gets pretty close to 4 foot. So just have to make sure I got an extra hand to hold the measuring tape to make sure everything looks good. Otherwise, that's not too bad. I cut a couple more pieces here. I am not 100% sure that's what I'm going to do with that. If I'm going to go 16 or if I'll go 24. There's really no reason to go 16 besides it's just easy to work with, but I don't see why 24 wouldn't work in there either. This plate here is extremely warped. Like, it is not very square. I think I might have to put a jack on the bottom here and push it up. It's just really crooked, twisted, I guess. So that end there looks better, but the further you go this way, it just does not look very good. So, and then I snuck a piece of insulation in there. I still should cut a piece for that there yet, but it's coming along. So not too bad. I mean, a pretty decent amount of work. If I spend another day here, I should have that insulation all wrapped up, and then if I decided what I'm going to do with that, I could have that done as well. So otherwise, extremely quiet day out here today. Hardly any traffic at all. Just very, very quiet. There was just a set of UTVs that came rolling through. Other than that, there wasn't anything. No traffic at all. So, and it warmed up. It's probably about mid-50s right now, so not bad at all for working weather. So other than that, that'll be it for now.